Keep living the adventure. Axis of Awesome.
Incoming transmission.
In the shadowed corners of forgotten realms drifts the Golden Skull. Cursed at its creation, it pulses with a quiet malice, a gleam of gold that whispers through the folds of space and time. No matter the world, no matter the era, it finds its way into the hands of the desperate, the curious, the doomed. Each bearer is gifted visions of eternity, of empires crumbling and stars devouring their own light. But always the gift sours. Madness follows. Reality unravels, and the skull moves on, untouched by decay, unstopped by distance, a harbinger of collapse wrapped in beauty. It is not sought, it chooses. And once chosen, there is no escape.
What is up, adventurers? Welcome to What's in the Shop number 47, the Curse of the Golden Skull special. Guys, it has been one hell of a ride this year. First off, I think before we get started on this whole thing, I need to give a big thanks to Paul Knapp and the Paul Knapp Show for kind of helping launch this back in January of 2026. This is something that I had talked about with Paul. My idea was kind of born from, our last Axis of Awesome group chat or a live stream we did, I think last year. We talked about doing almost like an Avengers style storyline where everybody in the Axis of Awesome would get together and create a story, kind of similar to what we did with the Traveling Joe project. However, unfortunately, everybody in our group is at different points in their life, so it's hard to kind of get us original guys together and all get together on something and make it work. And I kind of figured out it probably wasn't going to happen. Everybody's busy. Everybody's got other things going on, and we don't really have the same amount of time to commit to a project like that. So I thought about it, and that's when I came up with the Golden Skull initiative or this project. I really wanted to do something that really everybody in the Axis of Awesome community would feel like they're a part of. And I think I accomplished that with this. When I first came up with the concept and the idea, I had no idea that it was a Conan the Barbarian story, to be honest with you. Even though I'm a huge Conan fan, I didn't until Andy and Indy let me know, because he knows everything. He's like a walking encyclopedia. I just had that Golden Skull, and I also had this the Skull League Golden Skullo that I'd won from Rock Bottom Novelties a few years ago, and I kind of just was inspired to do a story based around a Golden Skull. So I came up with it. And I really wasn't sure how it was going to turn out. I really wasn't sure who all was going to participate in it. And, as the year progressed, I worked on my story. I know several other people worked on their stories. And I know Paul would email me or message me every once in a while and say, "Hey, man, have you heard from anybody who's working on it?" And I'm like, "Oh, a few people, And towards the finish line, I think we didn't really know how many people were going to participate. And fortunately, we got a pretty good amount of people, actually. When I looked at the videos today, I went back and watched all of them over the last couple of days. And we got a really an incredible group of entries this year for this first time. So thanks, Paul. And unfortunately for me, Paul is going to be not doing not fortunately. So you guys all know that Paul is not going to be doing his Monday live stream anymore. He's passing that over to Stacy and the rest of the gang. And it was a privilege to be able to work with Paul this last year on this, and kind of like one of his last projects, I guess, if you will. So thanks, Paul Knapp. And also thanks to everybody who participated in this. And we're gonna do a little bit of a recap of everybody's stories who all participated tonight. We're gonna jump in the chat and talk with people, and we're gonna do that. Then we've got the drawing for the guys here behind me. You can see here we've got. Let's go ahead and get rid of this What's in the Shop logo. You can see our drawing behind us. We've got the Atlantean priest, and yeah. That's what we're going to do. We've got the drawing all ready to go, and I think it's going to be a really fun live stream tonight, and I appreciate everybody who's jumped in the chat. We'll get to you guys here in a second. So briefly, I want to talk about my story, because that was kind of how this whole thing was kind of born. I did Jungle of Death last year, which was a really fun photo story to do, and my initial plan was to have the Sea Adventurer find a dagger in the Nephilim cannibals camp, and the dagger be a key to another dimension where he would face off against this Atlantean priest. Unfortunately, it was a great idea and a great concept. I just was like, damn, I don't know if I'm going to be able to really do all that in a whole year. So then I pivoted away to just doing a separate story. And then I thought, man, it would be really cool to have everybody do a story centered around a golden skull. And like all projects, you know, when you throw out a concept, like the real general concept, you get a billion questions. Like, well, what kind of story do you want? And my intention with these stories is to not take it seriously or literally, just come up with your own story. And the fun thing about it, I think, about this project this year was, if you look at a lot of the videos that we did, all of our videos are real similar in a lot of ways. And that's what I really loved about this. And I kind of was hoping it would be like that. And I think everybody who did it knocked it out of the park. Another thing, for a lot of you guys who wanted to participate but didn't get around to it, I understand. But I really hope that you guys in future projects commit to doing it, because I think it's fun. I think it makes everybody feel like they're part of something, and it really doesn't matter what your skill level is. You know, I really we'll get into Ernie's Attic and his photo story later on, but it was his first photo story, and I know he was stressed out about it and nervous. But man, look, it's not like a competition, like we're in some kind of weird competition for ratings or anything. It's really just what you think you can come up with and what comes out of your mind and how you put your art out there. It's basically art, living art in a way. So I really loved all of everybody's stuff, and man, it was really a dope thing to witness everybody do it. We had stuff all over the board. We had all different links. We had pictures. And everything. But you guys out there who wanted to do it but didn't get around to doing it, next year, let's do it. You know, let's not make excuses, and let's do it, because I think it's fun, and I think it's really something that's cool. And you know, with this Axis of Awesome thing, I've talked about this a lot, and there's been a lot of confusion. I know that people are like, what is the Axis of Awesome? You know, is it a club? Is it a group? No, it's just a community of creators who have really interesting and similar interests and hobbies, basically in the G.I. Joe realm. But we can, you know, we'll bring anybody in. And I want everybody to feel like when they join the Axis of Awesome, like when you join the Facebook page, it's not like all the other groups. You know, I get annoyed when I see all the other groups. I'm like, is it okay to post this here? I'm like, come on, man, we're all adults. Just try to be awesome. So that's kind of what I try to do with the Axis of Awesome deal. And I guess I'm the de facto president, whatever. But yeah, that's what I think, you know, and I really, really enjoyed this year. So thank you to everybody who jumped in there and participated. Let's jump in the chat tonight and see who all has decided to join us for this event. We've got G.I. Joe: The Lost Chronicles always here. What's up, Adam, brother? Glad you could show up. Lone Wolf's here. Thanks, buddy. Sean Huckster, the legendary man himself, is here. We got Moondoggy jumping in the house. What's up, my bro? Stacy Armstrong is here. Stacy's going to be taking over Paul's Monday slot on the Paul Knapp show. I'm not sure if I haven't heard anything from Stacy what it's going to be called. I don't know if you've announced that on Paul's show, but hopefully we get some more details on that because I'm sure it's going to be a super fun show. Let's see. We have the man himself, Murray Corrigan, jumping in the house. Let me go ahead and get Murray's hello, everyone. Murray, thanks for jumping in. Really appreciate it. Let's see. Ed from Action Figures. I really enjoyed your live stream last night, the Masters of the Universe stuff. Unfortunately, I didn't get to watch all of it, but I thought it was really fun and interesting. It's always fun to hear Travis. He's all over everywhere. he's a fun dude. I love coming on Ed, the Tory Leach show. It's very fun to be a part of that, and I really appreciate when he has me on there. Let's see. I think I got everybody on here, guys. If I missed anybody, Roberto Acevedo is in the house. That pretty much wraps up everybody. But yeah, guys, thanks for joining us tonight. I think it's going to be a pretty fun show, and yeah, it's been an awesome time. It has been a really fun year doing this. In years past, doing photo stories, I've always kind of winged it, but this year I actually took the whole year and planned it out and made mine, and I was really happy with the way it turned out. It was a lot of fun to do, and geez, Pete, I think everybody had fun doing theirs. It was just it was wild to just see them all start pouring in and watch all of them. It's like when the first one dropped, it was pretty dope. With that being said, let's go ahead. I prepared a little presentation on my shitty little old MacBook here that I still have PowerPoint on that I don't have to pay for it. Thanks, Murray. Thanks, Sean. I really appreciate that, buddy. We'll get to my photo story in a bit, but I will tell Sean that I thought about you when I was doing the Arcane Adventure. It was you said you had kind of consulted on that with the club, and I gotta admit I kind of had poo-pooed the Arcane Adventure when it first came out, but then he fit perfectly in the story. So, and it was ironic that a few weeks earlier, Dan DiBiase on the Halloween episode of the Paul Knapp Show brings out his Arcane Adventure. So that was pretty funny too. I'm like, shit, man. So anyways, yep, Murray, you're right. They were definitely fun to watch them all. So anyways, let's go ahead and call up our presentation that we have tonight. So the Curse of the Golden Skull, it was billed as an Axis of Awesome anthology series. So what my idea was everybody would get a cursed golden skull and tell a story of a cursed golden skull. And it was up to you to come up with your story. There was no guardrails. You just had to come up with something really, really cool that something you thought was really cool and just put it out there for all of us to enjoy. And I think everyone did that. So you can see here we have the this little Curse of the Golden Skull Axis of Awesome anthology that I made. So we had photo entries. So my original goal was to have a YouTube entry with videos or photo stories, and then a photo contest for people who wanted to post in the social media. And then I know there's people who don't do social media, and then they would mail those to me or email those to either me or Paul. We would throw them on there. We didn't get a lot of people to do that, actually. So this coming year, I think I'm just going to limit it to YouTube and social media. So that's what's kind of going to be my goal. So just based on this past year. So we got the photo entries. So the first one we got was a longtime follower of my channel and somebody who emails me quite often. And this was Mel's, the YouTube follower, Mel. He sent this picture to me. I think it is really, really cool. Let's see if we can get this pulled up here. He sent this picture to me. And I think it's really cool. It was the first thing I got. He sent it to me. He wasn't really sure. He's like, I don't know. I mean, I hope you can use this. And he sent me a few different ones. And I said, that is absolutely perfect. And I love the way Mel used his Eagle Eye figure. I'm not sure if that's an Action Man. I'm assuming it's an Eagle Eye Action Man. And it's almost like this. I think I described it. It's a diorama that includes several different props that have callbacks to a lost, remote, cursed megalithic site. Looks like he used some fire bricks there. He had all the rocks. He had the skulls. Looks like he had an outfit from the Indiana Jones swordsman. And it was really, really cool. When you look at this picture, I think it conjures up a feeling of a guy who stumbled upon some type of cursed site where something crazy has happened. You've got some, what I assume to be pirates who have died here, and a little makeshift stone throne. It was a really cool picture. I love how he did the diorama. He's got a snake in there. He used I guess you call it, is it stuffing or cotton balls or whatever for the fog or mist. I think it looked absolutely awesome. I don't know what you guys think. Scotty Z70's in the house. Thanks for joining us. We got Tim Cope, who just started to come in. So yeah, this was Mel's pick. I think it was great. So Mel, I don't know if you're going to be able to watch this tonight. I thought you said you might have to catch it later, but I think you did a fantastic job, and thank you so much for submitting this for us to look at and enjoy. Yep, Stacy, it was a great photo. Absolutely awesome. Yes, we did post it to Facebook. And then we had Mr. Rick Bradshaw, the avid toy photographer and avid toy buyer. Rick actually kind of explained this picture on the Paul Knapp show. And this is a really great picture. For those of you guys who aren't familiar with Rick, he's 60 Pick on Instagram, and he has his own action figure, the Action Figure Playhouse on Facebook. The group's on there, and he does a ton of toy photography. See, Rick just decided to join us tonight. Rick, thank you very much for submitting this. I really appreciate it, man. So he took the head that he gets 3D printed and flocked by Angelo D'Annibale, and I believe he put it on a Jedi body. I think those are X-File alien figures. And then I'm not sure where the skull came from, or the skeleton, but it was really, really cool. He explained what it was about, like a dimensional type thing or a spell. Rick, if you're in the chat there, you can let everybody know exactly what this photo was about. But the actual picture itself is really, really awesome. Like an old wizard adventure team dude trying to fight off a group of, I guess, interdimensional aliens, and this massive golden skull erupting from the ground to claim this guy's soul. So that's interesting. Scotty Z70, that's freaking wild. That's awesome, dude. That's great. Yes, Tim, it's very cool. Great job, Rick. Thanks for participating, man. I loved it. Next up, now I'm not even sure what this was. So all of you guys out there know who Grunga Toys are. Obviously, legendary set maker, avid Cotswold collectible supplier. Unfortunately, with the state of the world, Sydney's not able to really get all of his product over here right now, but that's a completely separate issue I really don't want to dive into. But I follow Sydney on Instagram. We're friends and we talk every once in a while. And this just came over his Instagram one day. And I was looking at him like, what in the hell? So it is a character, I believe, an anime character, not originally called the Golden Skull, but I believe they did some type of remake, and this figure became the Golden Skull. And Sydney did this, I guess, toy promo in a way. I don't know if this is a Golden Skull submittal or not, if this is something Sydney's really going to make. I just have no idea. I didn't message him about it because I was in such shock when I saw this. I thought it was one of the coolest things I've ever seen. Skullman, I think you're right. I think you're right on that, Scotty. I think it is Skullman. I had to basically take the Asian, the Japanese writing, and I had to put it in ChatGPT and translate it all for me. And I thought it blew me away to see that Sydney put something like that out. And he put like 2 pictures out. But so I need to reach out to Sydney, I guess, and see if this was a submittal or not. Either way, Sydney, I am putting this in as a submittal because I thought that was a cool as shit photo, man. And the fact that he did it like a toy ad for his awesome sets was really, really cool. So, oh man, that was just really, really cool. And yeah, the body is a perfect wizard character. Oh, you're talking about Rick Bradshaw. Sorry, Ed. This guy looks like a wizard too. So, I don't know if you guys out there. Yes, I think you're right, Tim. It is a manga character or manga, whatever you guys want to call it. But yeah, this was awesome. So I was really blown away and surprised, and just surprised by Sydney rolling out there, him and Grunga Toys. So it was really cool. And this was another great one. This was one of my favorite photo entries. It was by Filmaholic. So Gregorio, he wasn't able to really do a film, even which is sad because he takes such amazing films and does a really like amazing pictures and stuff. It would have been awesome to see him kind of carve out some time to make something because he is a very talented photographer and he has a lot of really cool toys. But he did like a movie poster, and I thought this was just perfect for the contest. And I absolutely love this. And I hope that he actually manages to revisit this and put it out there for all of us to enjoy, because I think that was really, really cool. So shout out to Greg and Filmaholic. This was really great. This is just a really cool photo. So let's see, Sky, I'll be searching for this. Oh wow, that sounds like a crazy project. Okay, yeah, it is Nightmare Fuel. This looks like almost like a 80s B movie horror photo, which is super dope. And like I said, if you guys follow Filmaholic and see Greg's pictures and figures, he has a lot of really great stuff. And then we had Pete from the Skull Review. Pete threw this picture together and put it out there. And I have a feeling that Pete has been wanting to use this this figure because this is one of the greatest villain outfits I think that's ever been made. I believe it's by the company that would ultimately become Formative Soldiers of the World. This is part of that really early run of figures that were in the mid-90s, I believe. I think Pete's done some reviews of these guys. So this was cool. He basically just had this dude, this villain guy, with his collection of skulls. You got a crystal skull there, a golden skull, and 3 different human skull variants. I love that Pete just threw something together too. I know he's busy a lot, but I really appreciate Pete just jumping in there and just becoming a part of this. Good job, Pete. We always appreciate when you throw stuff out there. And Pete has been around for a long time. His YouTube channel has been around for a really long time, and he puts out. We used to put out a lot of content, not so much anymore. But he has a great catalog of awesome figures, and I really appreciate him. Yes, you're right, Rick. I remember these at Kmart as well. I had a few of these. They kind of came out around the same time Hall of Fame came out, I believe. Yep. Yeah, it's awesome. Moondog, you just sold that guy. That is a great jumpsuit, man. I mean, if a guy took that jumpsuit, Um, you know, you could. It almost looks like he's got a camel toe there too. Oh man, I love knockoff figures, man. They're so dope. And then, of course, Andy and Indy dropped this one. Andy went together, he put together a photo as a fictional Montgomery Ward Christmas catalog ad for the Curse of the Golden Skull. Andy always does hilarious stuff. This is really cool. This is like something you would see in a Christmas catalog. It looks just like it, you know. You can see Andy has the Man of Evil. I believe, I don't know if Andy made his Man of Evil or is that the club one? I can't remember. He's got the adventure there, and it looks like sort of like there's the pants. I think he's got the pants I sent him too. That's a great looking figure, actually. But Andy did a great job. You can see he's got a dead Joe there with a golden skull, and he did an absolutely fantastic job with this one. Andy always takes Andy always comes from out of left field with his comments and his stuff. He's so intelligent, and you just see there's a higher level to Andy when he does stuff, which I really appreciate. And he did a great job with this one here. So, Andy, thank you very much for participating here. Yeah, the sarcophagus is cool. It's classic. Yep. You got to circle this set. Andy did not put a price on there. I'm surprised he didn't. But very, very awesome pick, Andy. And I really appreciated him contributing. And then last but not least, we got Stacy, Sig20. He created a mini comic that he debuted on Paul Knapp's show. Now, he didn't put it on the Axis of Awesome page, so I had to get it from him. And I will go ahead and post the pictures that he sent me to the Axis of Awesome page so you can read the comic. Stacy, if you're out there, give everybody, if you don't mind, a really quick synopsis. I think you did a fantastic job. I love the way this looks. It looks like something Angelo would have done for his comics. It looks great, man. You got that camouflage I sent you in there too. That's awesome. I think it's great, and I'm so glad that you jumped in there, Stacy. I was worried that you wouldn't. I kept waiting and waiting to see Stacy post something, but I never got anything. And then I think I saw it on Paul's channel, and then I had to hit him up. Now, Dan DiBiase was supposed to make a picture as well, but I think Dan gets a little distracted sometimes, and he said he wasn't able to finish it. He said he got busy with work and wasn't able to finish one, which is a travesty because we all know how good Dan's photos look. But I think Dan's probably been spending a little too much time on AI doing stuff from the messages that I get on Facebook. Dan, you might need to ease up on the 3D stuff or the AI stuff and focus on some other stuff for a while. I think it's consuming you. Yeah, the consummate procrastinator. He is. Yep. So I really appreciate it, guys. Thank you to all the photo entries. You guys did a fantastic job. I know it's not easy. Yep, down the rabbit hole for sure. I know it's not easy to do stuff, but you know, it is the way it goes. I know when you get a concept, some people, like different people, have different takes on things, and I know it can be stressful when you're trying to think of something or kind of a photo to take. But you guys who did it, you did a fantastic job, and I really, really appreciate it. So thank you very much, guys. So let's go ahead and let's move on to the YouTube entries. So the YouTube entries were a lot of fun. Let's see. The YouTube entries were absolutely fantastic. So we'll go ahead and pull up. I went ahead and just kind of took screenshots of everybody's stuff because I didn't really want to spend a lot of time trying to share still shot video images. At the end of this live stream, I'll go in and edit the description, and I'll put a link to the to all the videos yeah, I created a playlist on YouTube for everybody's videos. I put that on the Facebook page as well, and my Skunkworks Facebook page, Axis of Awesome page, and the Skunkworks Facebook page. So you guys can go on there and you can find all the videos associated with the Golden Skull. So just so you're aware of that. So the very first video that dropped was Brian, newbie modder up there, up north of me here. Brian dropped his photo story, and it was really, really cool. If you guys aren't aware, Brian does his mini missions. They're all green screen stories, and they're really, really fun. And he did this Curse of the Golden Skull. It was action packed from the beginning. It showcases his green screen effects that he's known for, and he introduced the Phantom, who ultimately helps the adventure team thwart the villains. In the ending, it's basically an origin story for Cruel. If you guys are familiar with the villain I created with the skull, I sent Brian a whole Cruel outfit and head sculpt like a year ago, and he's used it in 2 of his mini missions, and I really appreciate him doing that. And he spells it different than I do, but it was a great photo story. If you guys didn't see that, definitely check that out. It was really, really fun. Brian's got an awesome YouTube channel. He just recently dropped another cryptid one, actually, and it was great. Just seeing him use the Phantom was really, really cool. That's the neat thing. Like I said, it doesn't always have to be G.I. Joe. I mean, you can incorporate a lot of other stuff, and we'll see that in some of these other photo stories that guys did. It's fun. It's fine to use G.I. Joe, but if you have a really good story and you want to use other characters, definitely. I mean, I don't have a problem with that at all. I think it's fun, and I think it's something that that anybody can do. So yeah, Brian, great job. Really appreciate it, man. You knocked it out of the park. Then we got Paul Knapp. Paul dropped his, and Paul did a fantastic job. Now, what I love about Paul is Paul kind of telegraphed some of the stuff he was going to do on his show. Paul likes to talk, so he had brought in Cos Becerra, who is a really, really creative and awesome 3D printer. He's gonna be a guy sometime. He made some really cool stuff for Paul's video. I don't know if you guys watched the video, but he did a fantastic job. Paul used a combination of AI voices and images, and then built sets. Paul's a really good set and diorama builder. Everybody knows that. To create a really cool short story. Paul did a video, I believe, on his channel of how he made his glowing rocks for his video. And ultimately, the adventurers on the planet discover a golden skull and take it back to, I believe, Earth. And I'm not sure, he had the aliens from the planet of Xenome, which were really cool. I don't know if they're like sabotaging Earth by sending the Xenobite skull back to infect the whole planet. Who knows? He left it as a cliffhanger, but Paul did a great job. All his sets looked really cool. His lighting was nice, and the story was really, really neat. And I'll tell you what I really love is that people using the AI kind of voices, and they sound almost robotic. That's the best part about it. You don't want it to sound too lifelike, because we're basically big kids just having fun like we would have when we were little. And nothing would have been refined or perfect when we were kids. So, and that's what I love about a lot of these videos, including my own. There's a little bit of an uncanny valley there for all of our. And Paul did an absolute banger of a job on this one, and I really enjoyed it. I think this is either Paul's second or third photo story. I know he did one for his crate challenge, but I think he's done another one. And Paul, if you're watching out there, I'm not sure what you do on Wednesday nights. You're probably watching live music at a bar, but you have all those toys. You need to get out. I know you like to build dioramas. You need to get those Joes out some more and do some more photo stories, because I think you do a fantastic job. So shout out to Paul. He did an absolute banger of a job. We've got the comments here. Yeah. Paul does a really good job on everything. Paul builds, him and Ed from Action Figures build really, really good set pieces. and props. And that's definitely an art. I'm not the greatest at it, but those guys did a fantastic job. Paul specifically did a really good job on this one. So you guys send Paul some kind words next week on his show and tell him how much you loved his photo story. So next up, now this was a really fun one. So I believe this is the Howlin' Moondoggies, Edmund's second photo story. Correct me if I'm wrong in there, Moondoggie. This is your second one you've put on YouTube. These are really well done stories. This was a fantastic story. I watched this one morning when I got to work while I was working on something. And this basically tells an epic tale of a Viking warrior who essentially makes a deal with the Norse goddess of death, setting the stage for a wild ride through history. And the ending is a really good plot twist. This was the coolest thing about this photo story to me is the photos, how they just slowly flowed through the story. And then every photo captures Edmund, who's also like Rick Bradshaw, an avid toy photographer. It really highlighted his skill as a toy photographer, and that also the photos did a really good job of telling the story. Now he uses like subtitles and whatnot to tell his story, which makes it really easy to follow. And it was actually a brilliant story. There's a few that are really well thought out, brilliant stories that take a long time to make, I'm sure. But Edmund's story was a really good one. And I don't know how long you've been sitting on that story, Edmund, but that was really, 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 really good. So I really love this story. Let's see what the other guys think about this baby here. Let's see. That's about Paul. Thanks, Lone Wolf. Yeah, there's just a lot of great entries. Yes, Marie, it was a really cool one. I absolutely loved it. Yeah, it was a super enjoyable one. The goddess of death, was it Hela, I believe. Yeah, that was really cool. It was creepy. It was actually fucking creepy. There's a few in this that were really, really creepy. Wow. Yeah, I can't wait to see more stories from him as well. I know it's not easy to do, to set all those up, especially when you guys are doing it in your houses. It's got to be difficult to do sets all the time. I just go out and find locations, probably a little bit easier for me. But this was definitely a dope story. And then we have West Coast Bigfoot. This was a good one too. So this is called the Mad Hatter. It was a great one. It was like almost like a sci-fi Doctor Who style story. He sent it. He posted it. He says, "I'm not sure about this." He goes, "I hope you guys like it." It was brilliant. He left us with a cliffhanger. And like Moondoggie, West Coast Bigfoot is an avid toy photographer. He posts some really fun pictures on Instagram that I absolutely love. And this whole story here, he did a fantastic job of. He actually went on location to places, and it was brilliant. And it was a really good one. And I kind of hope he does some more stories. I know a lot of these guys left off cliffhangers at the end, which is fun too. But now you're going to have to follow them up. But I misspelled something there, didn't I? Oh, well, that's just the way it goes sometimes. I'm not getting graded on this, am I? But no, West Coast Bigfoot, I really appreciate him jumping in there. I didn't even know he was going to do a photo story until he messaged me about it. He usually does photography, so I really expected that, especially him and Moondoggie both. But they both stepped up and knocked it out of the park with their stories. And I really appreciate it too. I believe West Coast Bigfoot's over there across the pond too. So yeah, we had two overseas entries, and both of them were just excellent stories. So shout out to West Coast Bigfoot for kicking all forms of ass on this one. Yeah, it was Murray. That was definitely an out there story. It was. You watch that and you're like, holy shit. I think what I love about everybody's stories is all you guys used some wicked. Same time toys. Thanks for jumping in, man. I really appreciate it. I've been watching a lot of your videos lately. You guys crack me up. No, but everybody used their imaginations, and man, that is so important. I think, especially when you get to be our age, to keep using your imagination and keep just trying to fill your mind with wonder. And I think with this, yeah, I do too, man, doggy. It's a problem. Uh, uh, yeah, Stacy, it was a good one. But anyways, so I think it's really important to what do you mean our age? Sorry. Sorry, Mrs. Armstrong. No. But anyways, I think it's important, to get out there and play. I keep saying that all the time. I keep harping on that. You got all these nice toys. Get out and do something with them. No, I get it. People love shelf queens. I got shelf queens, but I also like to get out and just play with toys. So I'm still a young man at heart. Uh, it was definitely psychedelic. West West Bigfoot is he's a gnarly dude. If you've ever just seen the pictures that he posts, like he just posted a recent one with a bunch of these guys that almost look like Dr. Isotopes. I think they were Max Steels, maybe. He's just he's a brilliant dude, and I really appreciate him. Now, this one here was awesome as well. This was another great story. Ed from Action Figures he gave us a 1/12 story, which I kind of knew he was going to do because we had talked about it. His detective Max Hunter becomes entangled in the seedy underworld of the occult, among other things. My favorite part of the story was the narration by Ed's son. His son narrates the whole damn story, and he does just an awesome job. It's kind of like the same things that Random Old Geezer and his daughter Emmy do. Like they and Action Figs, they can use the same voice, but the fact that it's almost like they're reading you a brilliant, amazing story. So you like the suspension of like, I don't want to say suspension of disbelief. Like you actually pretend like you're there in the story. And with Ed's story with Detective Max Hunter, it makes me want to see Ed do more stories with these characters, because I know Ed has a shitload of figures and he's always buying more. And yeah, I would love to see some more. I think Ed, you could do a Detective Max Hunter just photo story every so often for the Toy Elite channel, and I think it would be super dope, and I think it would be a hit with people. So yeah, I think it was great. It was all in black and white. He had the figures. He kind of did his own custom figures. Just the narration was great. The story was great. It was a real pulpy, like 1930s, like noir. Yeah, very noir, Rick. And it was awesome, dude. I really appreciate Ed jumping in here and doing that. So thank you, Ed. This was a great one. Thank your son for his contribution. You can quit whenever you want. Yeah, you can. I don't know. After watching you guys' live streams, you guys got so much stuff on pre-order. Oh man, dude. Yeah. What's that? He inspired me. Yeah. Yes. That was a brilliant detective story. Max Hunter is a character. I think Ed has created a character now that he's gonna have to. He's actually pulled Max Hunter out of the ether, and now he's real. So yeah, and it's something you got to do with your son too, Ed, which is awesome. Great job, man. Thanks for contributing to this. And then there's this story. Like, this was an epic. I don't even know what to say about this story here. Robert, I don't know if a lot of people know this or not, but Robert had kind of had a little bit of a family emergency while he was trying to make this, and he got delayed for a long time, but he he hopefully got everything remedied, and he basically came back and finished this thing and put it out. And this is a 40-some-minute behemoth of a story. So if you guys follow Maxog Adventures, you're aware that Robert makes all of his own sets. He makes the majority of his own clothes. He uses some really interesting and innovative practical effects, and he uses an AI voice, but it's always, I believe, his voice or his wife's voice, and they just use like a voice changer. He does all his own dialogue, and everything is like filmed kind of like in a live action setting in his one of his rooms there. And anything that Maxog, kind of like Filmaholic, the cinematography, I guess, of their stuff is just like, you look at it and you're like, man, all my shit sucks. And I mean that in like a good way. I'm like wow, it inspires me to do better when I see Robert's stuff. And Robert's story was absolutely brilliant. And the coolest thing about Robert's story is Robert's story, my story, and Adam's story all have a similar type of theme. And we didn't talk to each other about it at all. And we finished ours at different times. We had no idea what we were doing, but it was almost like we pulled from the same ether for our stories. And this was just a brilliant story. The ending is awesome. It's a visual experience. It's super cool. His figures are so polished and beautiful looking in there. I mean, his figures look so clean and polished. And I really like this. I watched it. I had to watch it in 2 installments because it's 45 minutes long, but it's an absolutely brilliant story. And I just thought this was awesome. And especially considering, Robert had a little bit of trial and tribulation during making this, but if you've watched this, just get in the comments section and read the comments. The comments say everything about this photo story. The comments were, out of this world. People loved it. I think Pat from Lead Action Joe said this is probably one of the best things he ever watched. He gave him like an A21 plus or something. And I agree 100%. And I'm happy that Robert was able to really throw this out there, because this is kind of like, one of those gold standard stories. You're like, holy shit, this is something you'd see like a Viewmaster when you were a kid. So yes, beautiful story. Great job, Robert. Yeah, it did. Yes, Roberto, it did remind you of a heavy metal story. And I think I know which one you're talking about too. Robert, for those of you guys who know, Robert has a toy company called Atomic Mushroom Toys, and he also makes these giant robots and stuff. So Robert has a really, really vivid imagination, and it really comes through with his G.I. Joe photo stories. So thank you, Robert, for your contribution. Next up, I don't know if you guys caught it, but Cody from Popblocks 4583 did one of the funniest quick stories I've seen. It was what I call super short. We don't hear from Cody much because I know he's really busy, and he spends a lot of time with his wife and kids and doing a lot of other stuff besides Joe stuff. I think Pat was telling me that, or Adam, one of the two. But whenever we get something from Cody, it's always brilliant. And this was great. If you guys saw it, it was just a real quick stop motion, which it was just, I probably laughed for a couple hours about it. And he got to show off his Hummer he's been building. I don't know if you guys have been checking out his Hummer project, but Cody's something else. I just sent him a couple custom heads I made, and I've been meaning to send to him for a while. So Cody, if you watch this and you got those heads, let me know. But hopefully we can get Cody on sometime for a live stream, because I miss that guy's content. It's really, really fun, and hopefully we can get Cody back at some point in time. This was a great one, so thanks, Cody, for jumping in on the Golden Skull. Well, before we move on, my original plan for this photo story, this Golden Skull, was to kick it off in Cody's Salty Sea Beaver, but we never really got around to doing it. I don't even know if I even reached out to him about it. I just knew he's been really busy. So, but that was my original plan, was to have a couple old drunk adventures sitting at the Salty Sea Beaver, and there'd be a golden skull on the wall, and it just launches all the stories. So that was my original thought, but unfortunately, we didn't get around to kind of making that a reality. But maybe we can do that with another photo story. So this was another unexpected one. So Paul's sister Barb, she dropped this really simple photo story. And essentially, Barbie is kidnapped, and her hero, Paul Knapp, comes and rescues her. And like I said, it's probably one of my favorite entries because it was so unexpected. And Paul's sister doesn't even do stuff like this, but she made this essentially backyard adventure, and I misspelled everything on this as well. My apologies, Bard. But I did this on the quick. But Barb did a great job with this one, and it was nice because kind of like a brother and a sister, and her baby brother comes in to rescue her from evil, and it was great, Barb. So, Paul, I don't know if your sister watches my live stream. I doubt it, but tell her that I really, really appreciate that entry. It made me smile. It was fantastic. So it was awesome. I hope you guys watched it. Moondog, you haven't seen that one, you need to watch it. It's really great. I think you're talking about Barb's, or maybe you're talking about Roberts. I'm not sure which one you're talking about, but yeah, Stacy, Ken is in this. It's a great story. It's got everything in it. It was very unique and very awesome. You're right, Ed. And then you had one of the masters, Angelo D'Annabelle, G.I. Joe AT. Angelo dropped his photo story, and it was almost like the comics he does. But the coolest thing about Angelo, well, there's two things. First off, while Angelo was making this, The Curse of the Golden Skull, he literally got cursed because his computer took a shit. And I didn't know if he was going to be able to finish it, but he actually did. And he pulled it out, and this was an absolute banger. It starts out as in my opinion, if you guys have watched this, it starts out as an educational video, which is really cool because you can tell Angelo's a teacher, because it's got like an AI animation telling a story, and then it shifts to a completely different action adventure using all Angelo's awesome figures and all the awesome outfits and all the cool shit that Angelo does. And it was great. It was kind of like one of his awesome comics he makes, and it was absolutely fantastic. And I'm so glad. I know I didn't hear from Angelo for a while. I didn't know that he was having problems until I think Rick had mentioned it on Paul's show. And I'm glad that Angelo got it out of the fire and managed to make this, because it's a really, really good one. The sets and the photos are really, really nice. And it's definitely something you'd expect from Angelo. Like I said, if you've read Angelo's comics or seen all Angelo's content, you're absolutely gonna love this story. So it was great, and yeah. yeah, it's a good one. We didn't get a lot of gory stuff in this one, in these photo stories. So yeah, it was an amazing blend of pictures and animations. Murray, you're right. It was great. He did a fantastic job. So yeah, the first part of it, I was just watching. I was eating dinner and I was watching it, and I was like, Jesus, is this Angelo just gave us a history lesson here? He says he took some liberties too, but who knows? History is all bullshit to me anyway. So yeah, he definitely knows. Angelo definitely knows how to put together a story, and he does a fantastic job. So we're all lucky to have people like Angelo in the hobby who are still going down the 1/6 scale road, even though he's become a little bit of a 1/12 guy. Him and Rick Bradshaw are just loving that 1/12 stuff right now, which is there's no problem. You got Ed from Action Figures. He got on that crack pipe too. So can't hate on it. The guys are doing fantastic work out there. And then this is a classic. Our longtime original OG AOA member Tom from Spider Monkey Films. We don't get a lot from Tom, but when we do get something from Tom, it's always a home run. And Tom is awesome. This video he dropped was brilliant. Tom essentially did a Batman Adventure Team mashup. Like Newbie Modder, he introduced an iconic comic character into his universe. He's got Batman and the Scarecrow, and it's a great story. And it's done exactly how you would think Spider Monkey Films would do something. There's a little bit of tongue in cheek. It's funny. Everything was perfect. It was great. And like I said, I hope Tom brings the Super Show back, because it is one of the funniest things on the internet. And Tom lives over there, is my neighbor over there in Indiana. And I miss seeing all Tom's content. He put out some really good stuff a few years ago that just made me laugh. And we need to get the Super Show back, Tom, if you watch this. But this was a perfect entry into our photo story contest. And hopefully we can get some more stuff out of Tom. It was a lot of fun seeing the G.I. Joe Super Show guys and with the Scarecrow and then Batman. It was just absolutely it was absolutely fun, you know. Yeah, the story was cool. The Batman was neat. Scarecrow was neat. Tom's effects were really good in this. I don't see Tom do a lot of effects, but he did an awesome job with the effects on this one. Yeah, I was surprised. I didn't know what the story was at first. And then I'm like, is that the Scarecrow? I'm like, holy shit, this is a Batman story. This is awesome. Tom, if you do watch this, bro, I need to see, when's Evel Knievel going to jump this pond? I mean, I've been waiting for years for Evel Knievel to jump this pond. So I need to see that video, bro. Great job, Tom. Thanks for contributing. And then there's this guy. Jeez, oh, Pete, man. I tell you what. Adam. So Adam and I go way back to the original members of the Axis of Awesome. I want to say, I don't know who I talked to on email first, if it was Adam or Pat. I can't remember. It's probably Adam. I think it was Adam. And it's so interesting and awesome to see the evolution of Adam's photo stories to what, if you go back and you watch Adam's original photo story and then you watch Adam's photo story today, it's exactly what you want to do. This was a great story. And I love Adam because I know he had a lot going on. He was doing a lot of home projects and stuff that weren't G.I. Joe related. And I know it was killing him because he really loves to do this type of stuff, this G.I. Joe stuff. And when he got this and he started working on it, I could tell how excited he was. This was an absolutely brilliant story. He knocked it out of the park with this. His use of of visual effects. First of all, the story was great. His use of visual effects, his practical effects, everything just really flowed together really well. You know, he just put together, I think this is his best photo story he's ever done. And that's saying a lot because he does some really, really brilliant photo stories. And everything looked awesome. And the ending was great. The zombie, the German zombie that he made, that was great too. Like everything at the end was just like, what? And I love you, Adam. You did a great job on this one, man. In your photo stories are top notch, like Robert's. We're all chasing you guys, and yeah, it was just great, man. So keep that coming. Keep that coming. See what the comments. Yeah, it was a great concept, Murray. It was a lot of fun. It was creepy as shit too. You're right, Moondoggy. Yeah, you're right. There's a lot of layers to the photo story. Adam's brilliant. He just is, and we're lucky to have people like Adam in the community keeping the 1/6 hobby going. Yeah, he's super awesome, man. Good job, Adam. You killed it. And then there's this guy too. Now, if you guys follow, hopefully you guys are following Random Old Geezer. Um, this is his Dark Truth series. It it depresses me because it's so good. You know, like I do photo stories, and I'm like, I think they're pretty good. This guy here, he does a brilliant job with just basic stuff. It's him and his daughter. They do the voices. There's literally hardly any effects, just little homemade sets, and the dialogue and the characters move every story to almost a near perfect level. And I love Random Old Geezer stuff. And this is a prequel to his Dark Truth series that he's been putting out. If you guys aren't watching his photo stories, you should be, because like I said, they keep it really like simple, because the story's so good and their voices are so great that all their photo stories are just fucking perfect. And it's just like, gosh dang, man, these things are awesome. And this story here is in my opinion, a classic English ghost story. And it's brilliant. And I loved it. I've watched it twice because I thought it was so interesting. Just the dialogue alone makes this one of the best stories out there. This is one of the best stories. I mean, it's just a really good story. And again, we all of us that do photo stories and spend a lot of time on them, we're looking up to people like Random Old Geezer. I'm looking up to people like Robert. I'm looking up to people like Adam, because these are people that are just so artistically talented with their craft, and they've found their niche to what they're really good at, and they do such a brilliant job. And this was so British to me. Like it had a little, I don't even know. Like I don't want to say Doctor Who, but it definitely had this British feel to it that is just like so freaking dope, man. It was a brilliant photo story. Hopefully you guys, watch this one. It was absolutely brilliant. Yeah, I love his stories. They're very interesting, and they're very well written and very well done. Hopefully, he sent me an email about the drawing. They said don't put us in there because of the postage and the tariff, all this. Everything's a mess. It just sucks that people who live in other countries, you want to be able to send things back and forth to people, like even like Canada, and just everything's such a mess now. It's hard and it sucks. But yeah, I love these guys. I love him and his daughter doing some of the most amazing stuff out there. And it's so brilliant. I'd love to get him on a live stream sometime and talk to him about how he does it. I'm going to reach out to him. I don't know if he does live streams, but I would love to have him on there. I'd have to do it probably early in the morning, which wouldn't be a problem for me, because I get up and watch football when it's over in England too. So I'll interview anybody anywhere across the country or across the world. I've done Brazil. It's no problem for me. Yeah, it had definitely had a Cthulhu vibe. Yes, it's just a wild photo stories and just amazing ones. So thank you, Random Old Geezer and your daughter. You guys did a bang up job on this one. And then there's this guy, Ernie. Big shout out to Ernie from Ernie's Attic. Man, I tell you, Ernie, this is for Ernie's first foray into photo stories. Now, if you guys watch this one, you need to watch it a couple times, because the best part about this is the dialogue. Ernie, it's almost like a sitcom in a way, like him doing the kind of inside jokes with the girls at the beginning, and he's got a filter on it. It's a wild story, and it's a wild viewing pleasure in a way. And I think he did a great job in his first photo story. And Ernie's got a lot of stuff. If you guys follow Ernie's channel and you see him on Paul, Ernie's a very genuinely good dude, good, jolly dude. And I'd love to see Ernie do more stuff. because he has so much cool stuff that like he's at the initial infant stages of his photo story development, and I know he can just knock it out of the park if he keeps doing these. But this was a brilliant start to his photo stories. I'm so glad that he participated in it. Like I said, the dialogue is my favorite part about this one, and Ernie's awesome, such a good dude. He's on Paul Knapp every week, and a lot of positive energy coming from Ernie and Ernie's Attic. And he's got so many interests too, which is super wild. He's just a good dude out there in California. He's got that real California chill vibe. Who knew he was a world-class soccer player? Like, he's just an interesting, multi-layered individual. And the fact that he pulled it together and did a photo story for this is very impressive. And I also thank him quite a bit. For his first photo story, he did a brilliant job. Way more in depth than my first photo story. So keep it up, Ernie. You're awesome. So thank you to all the YouTube entries, guys. You guys did a bang-up job. The photo guys and the YouTube guys, you all did an awesome job. I was super happy to see everybody jump in and become a part of this thing. You're in history now. It was memorable. And I'm really, really excited to see where this is all going to go here in the next year. We'll talk about that here in a bit. So let's get down to the order of business. We're going to do the drawing now. We've got the drawing for the Mike Power, the Super G.I. Joe, and the accessory set. Now, in the event that anybody out there doesn't want that item, or they're like, hey, I don't need it for my collection or whatever, you can pick someone in the group and you can will it to them if you want. I know there's people out there who aren't really collecting much anymore or whatever else, but it's perfectly fine. I'll send it to whoever. But let's go ahead and do the drawing. So I'm not going to do the drawing because I was in this photo story, so I kind of feel like I shouldn't do the drawing. So I brought in a couple special guests for the drawing. So we're going to kick it over to them. So let's go over to them.
What's up, adventurers? It's I, the Wizard of Candy, here for one more evening to do a drawing for Jeff from Skunkworks. But before I can do that, I must call in an assistant, someone to help the Wizard of Candy before he ascends to his evil lair. So now I will call him in. Hello, adventurers! It is I, the Wizard of Candy, and I've brought to you a special friend tonight from the pits of the abyss. Death has joined us for this amazing drawing. Are you ready, Death? Yes. So, we have the special dish to draw from, a ghost from the hallows of the hallowed realm of Halloween. The first drawing will be for the videos everyone sent to us and posted on their YouTube channels. Now, this is for all of you who decided to take the chance and post your content to YouTube. We do appreciate that. But before we can make the drawing, we have to cast a spell on it. I'll cast the first part, and then you cast the last. Simila haraka haraka has. Cast your spell, Death.
Be gone for 100 years and never come back.
Now, Death, draw from the ghost and pick the winner. Let us see. Now I will let you read it.
Okay.
In your deathly voice of evil.
Okay.
The winner of the Mike Power figure is Action Figs. Congratulations, Upstate New York. You are a winner. Now, let us go ahead and do the drawing for the second figure, the photo contest winner. We'll do two of them.
Adam?
Two of them, actually, that's what I meant to say. This is for the Super G.I. Joe figure that I specially made. Well, I didn't actually make it. Jeff from Skunkworks did. Okay, Death, draw the name. Let's read who this one is. The Super G.I. Joe figure's winner is...
Andy and Andy.
Ooh, Death, is your voice okay?
Yeah.
You sure you don't want to read that again in your deathly voice? Andy and Indy, congratulations, Andy Hasera. You won the Super Joe. And last but not least, let's just go ahead and throw everybody who didn't win back in, shuffle it up for the special scuba set. Death, one more time.
Okay. I kind of want to do this too. Who's gonna be?
Let us see. Are you ready?
60 pick.
What's his name again, Death? 60 pick. Congratulations, Rick Bradshaw. Congratulations to everyone who participated.
I just want to talk to you.
Okay, Death would like to say something in his normal voice. Please, Death, you have the stage.
I'm in timeout. I bet.
Come, Death, we're going to take off and go. Back.
All right, gang, there you go. Thank you to the Wizard of Candy and Death. I know that Halloween, those guys were anxious to get back to their areas of where they reside, and I really appreciate them stepping up to help us with the drawings. So, like I said, we got the winner of the Mike Power figure is Ed from Action Figs. I got your address. I'll be sending that out. Andy and Indy for the Super Joe, I got yours, and Rick for the custom scuba set. I will be sending all those out to you guys. I believe I have all your addresses, and I really appreciate everybody participating in the Golden Skull this year for the drawing. It was a lot of fun, guys. Thank you very much. It was great. I couldn't have asked for a better first start to our hopefully long-term anthology series. So moving on, like I've mentioned, I think I mentioned when Paul and I were talking. Hey, Paul, it's Paul. Paul, are you back from dinner? Thank you, Murray. I try, buddy. I try. So anyways, remember, next year, 2026, we're going to do the story is going to be The Hunters of the Unknown. I'm working on the details and trailer for it right now. I hope to debut it the first part of January. It's going to be real similar. I'll refine it a little more on the Curse of the Golden Skull, but it's going to be great. It's basically taking that Largo's Lair concept that Largo had me come up with for a project he was originally going to do, and I thought it was a really cool project, and we're going to do it. It's going to be monsters and cryptids, something I think all you guys really love, and I expect we're going to have a pretty large group of participants for this Hunters of the Unknown. It's going to be a lot of fun. I've already started planning my story, and it's going to be great. Also, I probably want to announce on here that Adam and I are also going to do another collaboration. We didn't get to last year because we were both really busy, but we've got that coming, and hopefully I can get Adam on a live stream here soon, and we can talk about that as well. It's going to be different than the previous two that we did, which was the quantum conspiracy and the I can't remember what we called the one with Orbitron, but I'm going to go first this time around, and Adam's going to finish it up. He's come up with the storyline. It's a brilliant storyline. I think you guys are all going to love it. So be on the lookout for that. Also, I'm trying to get the original guys from the Axis of Awesome together to do a live stream in December. It's kind of hard to Peter Buckley, what's up, brother? Thanks for joining us. It's kind of hard to get everybody wrangled in because everybody's got different stuff going on the holidays, but I think we'll at least be able to get a few of the guys on there. I'll let you guys know more about that, the details of that coming up here, hopefully in the next few weeks. Next week on the 13th, Mr. Greg Brown is coming back to the shop to talk about everything Cotswold Collectibles. That should be a really fun one. The last time Greg was on the shop, it was a really good live stream, and we had a lot of fun. So I can't wait to get Greg back on here. And then the week after that, the Howlin' Moondoggy is coming to the shop, and that's going to be a really fun one too. He's going to share all of his figures. He's been on Paul Knapp. You've seen him on there, but we'll dive into more in-depth stuff and talk to him about everything. So those are going to be the next two live streams. My goal right now is to bring Jim Egner back for the last live stream of the year, if I can, to round it out, because Jim and I had a great conversation the last time. I reached out to Jim. He's down for it. We'll just have to get it scheduled. But hopefully we don't throw any Star Wars pew-pews out there and get our live stream cut. But that's what's going on. And then I've got a list of guys for 2026 coming up. I need to get Sean Huckster back on there as well. I do want to mention that Sean did a Golden Skull project. You guys probably didn't know that. Sean, if you watch Sean's channel, which he has a ton of really cool content where he's just unboxing a lot of these Mr. Beast sets, as well as a bunch of these other micro sets. Sean's did this really cool it's kind of like a Polly Pocket or Mighty Max small steampunk case. And he made a tiny Golden Skull that went with that one, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, Sean, but you made this tiny Golden Skull for that one. And my goal is when I get Sean on, he can really go over that thing and show it to you in detail and everything that went along with that, because that thing is a engineering marvel. And I think he's got it finished, but I'm not sure. I know he did like a prototype, but he's done so many videos of him unboxing these Mr. Beast and these other sets. It's back there a ways. I was trying to find it and put it on here, but I didn't get around to it. But Sean did do a little bit of a pseudo Golden Skull entrance. So thank you, Sean. You're super dope. So guys, that is it for tonight. I really appreciate everybody on here. We had a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoyed my presentations, even though I misspelled a few words. But if you guys knew me really well, you know that spelling's probably not my strong point. Say more math. I don't even know if math is anymore. But I had a great time doing this tonight. I was excited to share all this with you guys. And thank you again to everybody that participated in the Golden Skull. We had a great time. And let's try to do it even bigger in 2026. So, guys, that's about all I can say. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. There won't be a video on Friday. We'll be back on Monday with a Order of the Jedi Luke Skywalker review. And then, of course, Greg Brown comes to the shop next Thursday, the 13th. And that'll be next week. And then after that, we can probably start getting back to our regularly scheduled program as we get into the holidays. So I've got a lot of really cool videos lined up. And hopefully you guys will enjoy them as much as I enjoyed making them. So as we leave, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. Tap that notification icon. My email is jshow74 if you want to send me any cool stuff. Remember, if you're going to put any other Curse of the Golden Skull stuff out there, tag it. And in the meantime, guys, keep living the adventure and cheers.